there is a river that the elders never speak of by name, not because they have forgotten it, but because they remember it too well. They say, when the river is quiet, it is watching. And when the river calls your name, you must never, never answer. 3 girls did not listen. And what they found at that river was not a treasure, was not a monster. It was something far more dangerous than either. Stay with me. Because before the story ends, you're going to ask yourself one question. What would I have done? Let us begin. In the time before your grandmother's grandmother was born, there was a village called Kpando. Kpando was beautiful. The soil was red and rich. The yams grew fat. The children grew strong. And the people, they were happy. But happiness in Kpando had one condition. At the edge of the village, where the trees grew so thick that even sunlight was afraid to enter, there was a river. The people called it Oyanwa, the river that remembers. No one in Kpando went near Oyanwa, not the hunters, not the fishermen, not the brave men who wrestled at the festivals. The rule was simple. Do not go to Oyanwa, do not speak to Oyanwa, do not let Oyanwa hear your name. Just that. No explanation, no story behind it. And that was exactly the problem, because when you give a young person a rule without a reason, you have not protected them. You have given them a challenge. It started with an argument, a loud one. A daze was standing on top of a termite mound, arms wide open, making a speech to nobody. If I were a warrior, she announced, I would have crossed 7 rivers, fought 10 spirits, and still come home before supper. Fola did not even look up from the stick she was drawing patterns with in the dirt. You have never even crossed the stream behind Mama Ease's house. Fola said calmly. You scream when a frog jumps on your foot. That frog was too fast. It was very slow a days. Fola, the 3rd girl, Simi, laughed so softly. You almost missed it. Simi was small and quiet, and the kind of child that old women looked at and said, this one has a good spirit. She was pulling petals off a flower one by one, not really listening, but she was. Simi always listened. What is the bravest thing a person can do? Asked suddenly, sitting down from her mount. Ask a question nobody wants to answer. Fola said, like what? Fola stopped drawing. She looked up. Like, what is actually at Oyanwa? The name landed like a stone dropped into water. Nobody spoke for a moment. Nothing, Simi said quietly. Water, trees, probably mosquitoes. The elders just don't want us to drown. Then why give it a name? Fola asked.
Why call it the river that remembers if it is just water? Water does not remember anything.
Why call it the river that remembers if it's just water? Water does not remember anything. Nobody had an answer, and in that silence,
Let us
the
go
idea
and see.
planted itself. Let us go and see, Adaze said. Her voice was different now, low, decided, Adaz. Just to look, we touch nothing. We say nothing, we just look. Simi shook her head slowly, but she looked at her 2 friends. Adaz already decided, Fola already calculating. She was afraid, but she was more afraid of being left behind. And that right there is the first lesson of the story. Sometimes the most dangerous place you can stand is beside someone you love. When they are walking the wrong way, they left before the cocks finished crowing. One moment the rooftops of Kpando were behind them, the next, nothing, just trees, dark and tall and pressed together so tightly, it felt like the forest was a wall that had agreed to let them through, but was already regretting it. Too quiet, Fola said after some time. She was right. A healthy forest is loud, monkeys, birds, insects arguing with each other. But this forest, the stretch of land between Kpando and Oyanwa, was silent in a way that did not feel empty. It felt held. Like something very large was breathing slowly at dawn and listening. Simi kept looking over her shoulder every few steps. There is something behind us, she whispered. There is nothing behind us, Adaza said. I did not say I saw something. I said there is something. Adaz looked back anyway. Trees, shadows, nothing. She turned forward and kept walking. Then, off the path to their left, a bird burst upward out of the bush. A big one. Wings crashing against leaves. Gone in a second. All three girls froze. The silence after it was heavier than before. Let us keep moving, Fola said quietly. They walked, and the thing Fola noticed first was that the path felt longer than it should have been, as if the forest was stretching itself, pulling the distance out like old cloth, making them walk further than the map in their head said they should. And then, without warning, they smelled it, clean, cool water, cutting through the thick, dark smell of the forest. We are close, Fola said. They pushed through a wall of tall grass, and there it was, Oya Noir. My friend, I need you to understand this moment because this is where the story surprises you. The river was not dark. It was not churning or black or surrounded by dead things. Oya Noir was beautiful, wide and perfectly still, with water so clear it looked like glass, laid flat on the earth. The trees on the far bank were greener than any trees they had ever seen, a deep, singing green that did not look like it belonged in this world. Strange flowers grew at the edges, colors they had no names for, and the water caught the early morning light and scattered it like scattered gold coins. It is just a river, Adeza said, her voice half relieved, half disappointed. It is the most beautiful river I have ever seen, Simi said. But Fola said nothing, because Fola was looking at the water, and she had seen something wrong. The river was perfectly still, but there were no reflections in it. 3 girls standing at the bank, and the water showed nothing. No sky, no trees, no faces looking back up at them. Adez, Fola said very carefully, Look at the water. What do you see?
What do you see?
Adez looked. Her smile disappeared. I see nothing. A river that shows no reflection, Fola said. That is not water. And the moment she said those words, the river moved. Not like a wave, not like a current pulling from somewhere far away. It moved the way water moves when something enormous beneath it is something patient and ancient finally decides to stir. And then they heard the voice. This is important.
Children, come closer. I have been waiting for you.
Do not answer it.
Come closer. I have been waiting for you. Do not answer it, Fola said immediately. A breath, barely a voice. Do not say one word. But Adaz, bold, fearless, foolish Adaz, stepped forward. Who are you? The river seemed to settle as if satisfied. I am the one who remembers, the voice said. I remember your grandmothers. I remember the first fire ever lit in Kpando. I remember everything that your village has tried to forget. And I have waited a very long time for children curious enough to find me. What do you want from us? Adaiz asked. Not what I want, the voice said. What do you want? Each of you carries a hunger, something you have never spoken out loud. Speak it to me now, and I will give it to you. Nam. My friend, stop here with me. This is the oldest trick in the oldest story ever told. Something that knows you, something that speaks your language, something that offers exactly what you are missing, exactly when you are most empty. And the question the elders knew, the question the rule was built to protect, is this one. What does it want in return? Fola was thinking this, but the river did not wait.
The tall one, Adeza, wants to be the greatest warrior this village has ever seen. The clever one wants knowledge, to know the answers to all the questions her mind cannot stop asking.
The small one wants her mother to stop being sick.
The tall one, it said, addressing Adez, wants to be the greatest warrior this village has ever seen. Adeza went very still. The clever one wants knowledge, to know the answers to all the questions her mind cannot stop asking. Fola's jaw tightened, and the small one, a pause, longer than the others, the small one wants her mother to stop being sick. Simi made a sound, small, broken, like something inside her had cracked open, because it was true. Simi's mother had been ill for many months. The healers had done everything they could, and every night Simi cried into her pillow and asked whatever was listening, whatever good thing might exist in the darkness, to please, please make her mother well again. The river had heard. Yes, the voice said. Softer now, directly to Simi, only to Simi.
Yes, I can heal her. Tonight, you will go home and she will be standing at the door waiting for you. Strong, whole, as if she was never sick at all.
I can heal her. Tonight, you will go home and she will be standing at the door waiting for you. Strong, whole, as if she was never sick at all. Don't, Fola said sharply.
I only ask for one small thing. Your reflection. Leave it with me. You will walk away unchanged.
I only ask for one small thing,
You
the river
will be
continued.
the same girl who walked
Your
here.
reflection. Leave it with me.
The water
You will walk
keep
away
your
unchanged.
reflection.
The same girl who walked
That
here.
is all.
The water will keep your reflection. That is all. A small price. You will not even miss it. Simi took one step towards the bank. Simi. Fola pulled her back hard. Listen to me, Fola said. Her voice was shaky now, not from fear, from knowing. Think about what you are standing in front of. Something this old, this patient. Something that every elder in Kpando sealed away and would not even name. Does not give gifts, it collects. My mother, I know about your mother. Fola, if there is even a chance. Look at the water, Simi. And it was Adez who said it, because Adez had been staring at the river the whole time, not at the surface, beneath it, and she had seen them. Simi. Adez's voice was very quiet now, all boldness gone. Look at what is in the water. Look beneath the surface, in the perfectly still, perfectly dark water of Oyanwa. There were faces, not their own, dozens of faces, looking upward from beneath the surface with eyes that were open and mouths that were moving and hands that were pressed flat against the underside of the water, as if trying to push through from the other side. Children, all children, some of them Simi almost recognized, from old half-finished stories, from things elders had started saying and then stopped. Children who had been curious, children who had been desperate, children who had been lonely or heartbroken or brave in the wrong moment, children who had said yes. The reflection was not a small thing. The reflection was the door. Once you gave it, the river had a way in. And what lived in Oyanwa did not take just a reflection. It took everything that followed it, slowly, piece by piece, until you were one more face looking up from the wrong side of the water, watching the world above you, unable to speak, unable to leave, unable to warn the next child who came walking through that tall grass, looking for answers. Simi stared at the faces, and she understood. Her mother was sick. That was real. The pain was real. But this thing, this ancient, patient, beautiful lying thing, had not chosen Simi because it wanted to help her. It had chosen Simi because it knew exactly where to press. Step back, Fola said. Simi stepped back. 1 step, 2, 3. And the river, which had been so warm, so calm, so kind, changed. The voice dropped all pretense. What came out of the water now was not a grandmother's voice. It was not water. It was something older and hungrier and deeply, deeply furious. The sound of something that had been cheated, that had done this 100 times before, and was not accustomed to losing. The water churned. The beautiful flowers on the bank shriveled. The green trees on the far side darkened. Run! They ran. They ran harder than they had ever run in their lives, through the tall grass, through the silent forest that was silent no more, because behind them Oyanwa was roaring, and the sound of it pushed through the trees like a wind that was also a scream. They ran until their legs gave way. They ran until the forest opened, and Kpando appeared before them, golden in the morning light, red-soiled, loud with the sounds of a waking village. All three of them fell to their knees in the dirt, gasping, crying, alive. The elders found them still kneeling in the dirt at the village edge. Of course they did. In a small village, 3 girls do not disappear before sunrise without someone noticing. The oldest elder, a woman named Mama Chioma, so old her age had become a kind of legend, walked to where they were. She did not shout. She did not raise her hand. She sat on the ground in front of them right there in the dirt like it was the most natural thing in the world. She looked at each face. Then she said, "You went to the river." Not a question. They told her everything.
Oyanwa was not always what it is now. Long ago, it was a spirit of memory. It kept the stories of those who died so they would not be forgotten. That was its purpose, its gift.
What changed it?
Greed. It wanted more than memories. It wanted the living. And it learned that the easiest way to take a person is not by force. It is by knowing them. By listening in the dark for the one thing they cannot refuse. And then offering it, gently, at the moment they are most desperate.
How do you fight something like that?
You already did. You 3 fought it exactly right.
Really, we were so scared.
Yes,
And
you were very
Simi-
brave.
She reached out and touched Simi's face with both hands, gently. Simi chose truth when choosing. The lie would have felt like love. She dropped her hands. That is the hardest thing any person will ever do. Simi looked up at her. My mother is better, Mama Chioma
The
said.
healers found a new medicine.
The
last
healers
night.
found a
She
new
sat up
medicine
this
last
morning and
night.
asked for food.
She sat up this morning and asked for food. The sound Simi made then was not crying the way she had been crying at the river. It was different. It was the sound of someone who had nearly traded everything for something they received anyway. Because the answer was never at the river. The answer was always already coming. It just needed time. And so, 3 girls went to a forbidden river. They went looking for power and knowledge and healing. And what they found instead was wisdom, not because the river gave it to them, because they chose it. At the moment it cost them the most. Here is what I want you to carry with you tonight, my friend. The most dangerous things in this world do not look dangerous. They look like exactly what you need. They speak in kind voices. They know your name. They arrive at the moment you're tired and scared and willing to believe that a shortcut is the same as a path. The elders of Kpando did not make their rule to keep those girls small. They made it to keep them whole. And sometimes the bravest thing you will ever do is to step back from something beautiful that is asking for a price you cannot fully see. Thank you for sitting by this fire with me. If this story found something in you, share it. Share it. Let someone else hear it, because stories like this one were never meant to stay in one place. They were meant to travel somewhere at the edge of a forest with no name. A river is still, and it remembers.